Lamism developed in Tibet in the Tang dynasty, and then passed into Mongolia and northeast China. Lamaism is the Buddhism practiced in Tibet. This type of Buddhism is the Indian Mahayana Buddhism, intermingled with elements of Asian Tibetan religions. High person indicates great stature in the Buddhist religion, a noble man of much wisdom and good works, standing higher than all others. Therefore, a high person, a Tibetan Buddhist Lama, is like the abbot in Chinese Buddhism. Abbots are the monks' instructors. They pass on their wisdom in the same way as any other type of teacher. The abbot.
Step down from your 13th step. Stranger, who's black here, take first step. Savior, KRS is my nature. Then correction papers, I'm a motherfucking savior. Hey, give thanks to my makers, not just high. See you later to my haters. Keep it up, adopt a planet on these traders. Even flux, got core principle. The fifth is just who damn government, it's not us, the people. Me, the mama, the papa, come first. Find them within the internal compass. Jump on the llama when the industry holds from the drama. When it starts back up, more's on top when we alter. This world's more than just, hey, what's up for the slaughter? The abbot, the panda, nobody grander. The stature, Prophet Noble to Ali is the answer.
The abbot, the abbot, the abbot.
Yeah.
The abbot, the abbot, the abbot. A noble man, of much wisdom, and good works, The abbot.
Our abbot brought us Islamism, no disunity or divisionism. He never died, we survived the great schism, avalanche, lies, and libel. He made us national, not tribal. In propria persona, don't throw away your Bible. Affirm, never swear, matriarch, not rival. Honors to the mothers using menstrual cycles to make waves tidal. I'm his disciple. Teachings of our abbot needs to go viral. We recycle Quran questions, recital, chakra spiral, lower self stifle, so delightful. Awaiting higher self arrival. Trained us to be mental fittest for survival. Gave up the slave tag for ancestral titles. Back from the dead when the abbot tapped my spinal. Not the heavy metal band, but the path of the left hand.
The abbot, the abbot, the abbot. The abbot, the abbot, the abbot. A noble man, of much wisdom, and good works, The abbot.
Developing inner self is like building physical muscle. Even when we're physically still, we live a spiritual hustle. Must you question our prefer answers and lessons? Been in sessions with those that develop spirit like professions. The message is trust thyself. The more we know, balance with the more that we know there's more we don't know. Gotta grow still. Decay's the only other option. I don't like that feel, so I cut and connect with real. Not just to heal, to thrive. To escalate our inner state, once focused on survive. We better now, we rise. Divine plan, harmonizing my logic and inner man. Stand still, listen to inner voice, articulate real. Fulfillment of the goal of oneness is truly silence. Inner outer self is one. No plus, no minus, or mind is MYND or harmonization. Physical and spiritual, and us creations waiting.
The abbot, the abbot, the abbot. The abbot, the abbot, the abbot.
Yeah.
A noble man, of much wisdom, and good works, The abbot.
It's a journey for whoever's worthy to learn of self and not to ossify behaviors early. It's still a controversy. Flat earth, round earth, who the first people? They try to calculate a formula to keep it equal. But I am the nemesis to all you supremacists, putting all the emphasis to crush all your benefits, distorting what was relevant, tracing back to Genesis. The proof is in the pudding, we impeach more than presidents. Still we taking precedence, uplifting humanity. Sipping out you dirty Moors, I'm standing with who's backing me. Year 1933 was a tragedy, a blessing in the same breath, removing all the chains from the brain, soul plain left, never disappear. It's essential from this plain flesh. Student always learning, this is certain. I am shameless. The abbot to the abbot, we going through the same test, same test.
The abbot, the abbot, the abbot. The abbot, the abbot, the abbot. noble man. There's much wit, and good work. The abbot.
Abbott said don't abort the mission. Never waited for the course decision. Escape from this corporate fiction. Sometimes high, sometimes low. Phase in and out. Constant switching, different route. Avoid the friction. Watch your mouth. Change addiction. Status out. For jurisdiction. What we about? Most will listen. Build this house. My solar system. Beginning south. Be in remission. Got no doubt. My prophet's mission. My prophet's vision.
A noble man. The abbot. The abbot. The abbot. The abbot. The abbot.
Full life, not civilly more twos. Get vexation when I'm digging up more proof. MD&N movements. We play PlayStation. Real, unreal, staying animation. Full life, not civilly more twos. Get vexation when I'm digging up more proof. MD&N movements. We playing PlayStation. Real, unreal, staying animation. How I'm living? Don't even ask. What I was given to complete my task. I'm moving slow, but my mind's moving fast. Want to master ebb and flow, future, present, and the past. They say you don't need to know Allah's wisdom is too vast. Nothing to show, they want to see what's in the stash. Can't see my growth while I've been wearing all these masks. Want to hear a quote? First shall be last. Consider us the goats, true leader walks the path. Hope you taking notes, we do it on behalf. Don't need a vote, confidence is what I have. Chakras in my throat, express, perfect the craft. Wanna rock the boat, trying to stir up his wrath. Everything they wrote, not true, you do the math. Huh? What? You do the math. Everything they wrote, not true, you do the math. In full life, not civilly more twos. Get vexation when I'm digging up more proof. MD&N movements. You play PlayStation. Real, unreal, staying animation. In full life, not civilly more twos. Get vexation when I'm digging up more proof. MD&N movements. You playing PlayStation. Real, unreal, staying animation.
Some are living in color, like the Wayans brothers. I'm living stress-free and stay given to others. Karmic credit abundant, only dead in my life, minus degree weather in winter days and nights. I'm living prophecy, Moors with eyes wide open. Carry out the prophet's law by seeing and knowing. Man knows not by being told, I stay showing. Living by example, ancestors live through candles and drink good. Shrine cups stay empty. I'm living what I study, but not what ones tell me. Willing, able, and ready. I live sturdy and steady, walking the path of life with a hero medley. Ancestral forces protecting my steps. Live life every day full, it's like there's no more left. Living it right, not wrong, in higher self, not lower self. With one life to live, you owe yourself.
In full life, not civilly more twos. Get vexation when I'm digging up more proof. MD&N movements. You play PlayStation. Real, unreal, staying animation. In full life, not civilly more twos. Get vexation when I'm digging up more proof. MD&N movements. You playing PlayStation. Real, unreal, staying animation.
El Bay, proper person, that's for life, baby. All Meridians to camp and I stand first lady. Hey, they will label me crazy, cause I had the baby. Refused to give him vaccines, maybe. I've been reading up on crack fiends lately. Don't blame me, cause the times are up on us to take back ownership of land. Who own us? Nobody. No more, you've been knocking on the wrong door. And you rocking with the wrong core. Revisit info, reliving what's more. Ish, square and compass, my forfeit. Black and white portraits remind me of why I never forfeit. Ancestors, not corpses. Third eye, open looking further than the culprits. Try to perpetuate on pulpits. I'm bringing back the forescript. Prophet Juwali never posted.
In full life, not civilly more twos. Get vexation when I'm digging up more proof. MD&N movements. You play PlayStation. Real, unreal, staying animation. In full life, not civilly more twos. Get vexation when I'm digging up more proof. MD&N movements. You playing PlayStation. Real, unreal, staying animation.
Breath and thought? Why not? Psylocke, psilocybin till he gets homie bop, my sock. So smooth the way this beat that I rock. American, not from Plymouth stock. Who is he that gave the key that fits the locks? We call him Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali. Gave us the tools to help us set our minds free. From New Orleans, Mexico to Mali. He's that water in that deadly raw heat. Quench a nation, no small feat. No Euro step, no floor squeak. No disrespect to the Moor sword peak. Full crowd pack stands, sold out floor seats. Go for no less than 50K. 2 right, 5 left, don't deliberate. You know we come to liberate.
In full life, not civilly, more tools. Get vexation when I'm digging up more proof. MD&N movements. We play PlayStation. Real, unreal, stain animation. In full life, not civilly, more tools. Get vexation when I'm digging up more proof. MD&N movements. We playing PlayStation. Real, unreal, stain animation.
Try walking my shoes and see where the journey go. You talk too rude, it's better you learn to us. It's mine too cool and I feel like to turn it up. The beat just dropped, the lyrics will burn it up. I'm tied to the land like road, flag red like rose. With a green 5-star, I demand my goals. Eyes open, never find them closed. Higher self, well spoken, what my mind exposed. Living with battle scars, I don't lie about those. I'm a rebel with a cause, catch me flying by slow. Hear me level with the gods, overstand my flow. On the square with the laws, yeah, the wise man know. To challenge jurisdiction, putting up strong resistance. The revolution here, we refuse to be the victims. Navigating L's, travel and go the distance. I am my ancestors without doubts or contradiction.
In full life, not civilly, more tools. Get vexation when I'm digging up more proof. MD&N movements. We play PlayStation. Real, unreal, stain animation. In full life, not civilly, more tools. Get vexation when I'm digging up more proof. MD&N movements. You playing PlayStation, real, unreal, stain animation. Not living cause my heart beating. Insisting for a law beating. Man, status first, territorial next. It's not hard, don't make it complex. Man, not living cause my heart beating. Insisting for a law beating. Man, status first, territorial next. It's not hard, don't make it complex. Man.
Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Movement so alive and dead status can't touch this. People getting mad, we giving them more truth. Look at my face if you really need more proof. Philly T, yo, I'm still at home. Northwest to Maxim, the land I know. When y'all soon and she opened up the booth, stepped inside, dropped a little more truth.
In full life, not civilly, more tools. Get vexation when I'm digging up more proof. MD&N movements. We play PlayStation. Real, unreal, stain animation. In full life, not civilly, more tools. Get vexation when I'm digging up more proof. MD&N movements. We playing PlayStation, real, unreal, stain animation.
You know Shinobi had to hop in the booth, scoring 3 points. I got 23 on my shoe. I'm spitting fire in the booth. You know I'm sharp like a 2. They always laughing, but I know that I got nothing to lose. 5 principles, you know what they are. Love, peace, truth, freedom, and justice. All these haters can't touch us. All these lame ass niggas got me feeling too nauseous. Round me better be cautious, cause you know that I kill shit.
Pita, 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 pata. Step up to the plate, get signed the next batter. Kundalini rising as the beat gets fatter. What the silent are the critics? Shut up all them chatter. More bringing the peace. Among them scatter. You them standing on the square. I'm in a circle on the starter. More speaking out truth.
Drop facts on blacks, call that a hawk smash. Call Orishas, they call us a cult that worship the devil. We honor our higher self as glowing headlights. Be in a higher self, meditate, start flying. Fireballs start shooting, striking with lightning. Everybody that's looting receive messages, telepathic, graphic. Dark skull 418, Moor's dynamic. Masonic gate open, Moorish guideposts. Sword open throats and third eyes closed. Round table order, bodies clean with water. Palm to pioneer pure mental disorders. Free them from the dead states, give them full life. Out in the darkness into marvelous light. Behind turban veils, red cape flapping. Green star in the sky, calls Moors to action. Finger lightsaber, jump a skyscraper. Walk before you hit the ground, call us your savior. Call us your honor, only dogs wear a collar. Show a Moorish doctrine or don't call him scholar.
Summoned by the Sharifs to enforce the law. Moon on the chest, 5-point star. Strap on the hip, that's my scimitar. Similar to the bumper of Shiner's car. Armored like I was St. Maurice. Teeth in the night, but I ate a teeth. Hedges and highways, so I'm in the streets, saving the children, appearing to meek, still waiting for a savior. It took 7 days to a quarter moon. My jurisdiction you can assume. For roots from Andalus, Christopher still paying them dues. Constitution of four unconstitutional rules. Free national standards or acres and a mule. A promise is comfort to a fool. But don't sweat it cause I'm never late. I'm the Moor without a cave. Moor without a cave.
Listening to the lighthouse. For a lack of knowledge, you'll get wiped out. That fake shit you gotta wipe out. No shaman, but we shaman. Knock out your top rhyming. If you harming the Brahmin, it might be alarming. I got a plug in San Diego like Carmen. I'm shorting out my plan. I can go through different doors. Astro van, the master plan must come from the master then. When I speak, they listen like they tapping him. They sleep, that's why I'm tapping them. Real talk on the shoulder. Who you know colder? That spit fire that'll smolder. With a cannabis odor. Yeah. The charge is solar. Mentally, arms are bare, that's polar. MC, Moorish calendar, and microphone controller.
Moroccan flag on my back like a cape. I'm searching for the tapes, but they want me to wait. And every individual criminal hiding video and audio of the prophet announce it on the radio. Prepare for your burial, more vengeance is coming. Dirty's out of bound, rebounds like Drake Drummond's. Y'all all chicken, and I ain't talking about dumplings. I'm brave like Super Day, but I ain't doing no dumb shit. Reality choices you make, pay the price. No money, you dummy, pay with your life. Slave with a scimitar, not even a pocket knife. You in the chair, but your ears ain't rocking right. Uplift humanity, protect my birthright. Defuse the conversation. Yeah, I just might drop the world on his head. Yeah, that's right. I fly a new height, you fly a new kite. Wise men change their mind, dummies act like.
Islam Moors, peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. We're here once again. Q&A Wednesdays. Don't ask a Negro. Don't ask a black. Don't ask a Moorish troll. Don't ask coloreds. Don't ask an Indian. Ask a Moor. Don't ask some European hybrid unless it's a Maxim Almanac or somebody like that. Ask a Moor. So we're here. Q&A Wednesday. Let's kick it off because we got a lot to go through today. Moor sent some good ones. Honors to all the Moors in the chat and the Moors who sent their questions. It's definitely appreciated. You know how it goes. Study, study, study doesn't stop. It's constant. Constant. First question. Would love to have a detailed discussion on the difference on nationality versus naturalized. We'd like to have a detailed discussion on nationality versus naturalized. If you go to Canaanland Moor's YouTube, you know, we got, it's extensive. So you can just search Canaanland Moor's YouTube, naturalization, naturalized, nationality versus naturalization, and videos are definitely going to pop up. Videos are definitely going to pop up. One thing we'll do though is we'll just check the definition, just so we're clear. just so we're not confused. And this is the easiest way. You know, you don't got to go to some $5,000 consulate lecture to have them read the dictionary for you. Just look it up yourself. So when you look up naturalize, lawdictionary.org, naturalize, to confer citizenship upon an alien, to make a foreigner the same in respect to rights and privileges as if he were a native citizen or subject. Naturalize. That's naturalize. To confer citizenship upon an alien. To confer citizenship upon an alien. Naturalize. So if you have Moors telling you, come on over here and naturalize, first thing you should ask yourself is, are you an alien? Are you an alien? And we're not talking about predator and all that stuff. I'm not talking about those aliens. Are you an alien? You're not an alien? All right. So if you're not an alien, the next question, are you a foreigner? Are you a foreigner? We're not talking about food stuck in your teeth and then food is foreign to your teeth. So, you know, food is a foreigner. We're not talking about that kind of foreigner. Are you a foreigner? No, you're not a foreigner? All right. So if you're not a foreigner, how on Allah's green, brown earth you get convinced that the Moors telling you naturalize are right and exact? How? How do you get to that place where you think these people are in your best interest by telling you to naturalize? And now there's going to be some justification for it. For example, right, when we go to lawdictionary.org, nationality, go to nationality, the quality or character which arises from the fact of a person belonging to a nation or state. Nationality determines the political status of the individual, especially with reference to allegiance, while domicile determines his civil status. Nationality arises either by birth or naturalization. According to Savigny, nationality is also used opposed to territoriality for the purpose of distinguishing the case of a nation having no national territory. Example, Jews. This is why you get definitions and you read definitions, because they can teach you something about stuff that you never thought you would get taught about. Right? So we'll leave that last part out for now. And let's just focus on nationality arises either by birth or naturalization. Nationality either arises by birth or naturalization. So the naturalizers are going to tell you, see, the definition of nationality says nationality arises by naturalization. So you should naturalize in order to be a Moorish national. Now, we would go with that if it wasn't for the greatness of Noble Drew Ali, who told Moors, taught Moors, put Moors on game that how we got our nationality as Moorish American is by being descendants of Moroccans born in America. Were you born in America? Were you Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian? And then you found out about Noble Drew Ali, so now you know that you're not Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian, and you were born in America. Well, if you were born in America, guess what? You're Moorish American. Why are you Moorish American? Because you're descendants of Moroccans born in America. So you don't have to naturalize. And again, forget naturalization being mentioned in the definition of nationality. You already looked up naturalization, and it told you that that's for aliens and foreigners. Are you an alien or a foreigner? No, you're not. So when Noble Drew Ali brought your nationality back to you and told you the truth about your nationality and added on the truth about your birthrights and added on to prove the Moorish science, he gave you everything that it takes to save a nation and told you take it and save yourself. Why? Because of this same stuff that people are questioning right now. What's the difference between nationality and naturalization? Could we have a discussion about this? It's these traders that are the issue. Why people can't figure this stuff out. Because what the trader's job is to do is to try every weak mind and to cause confusion. That's the job of the trader. That's the job of the troll. That's their duty. Cause confusion. The more confusion that's caused, by them, the greater of a job they're doing to mess with our people. So, again, nationality arises either by birth or naturalization. Nationality is the character which arises from the fact of belonging to a nation or state. Nationality also determines the political status of the individual. The political status. Nationality determines the political status. So when a national of Egypt, like Mustafa Hefni, remember he's Egyptian and he's dark skinned. And then he got classified as white and he was mad and he went to all the black guys and they're the black guys to support him because the ancient Egyptians were black and our ancestors were black and they can't call me black. I'm from the ancient Egyptians and we're black people. And then he lost because his political status based on his nationality is white. And if he said that he was white, instead of playing nigger games, he wouldn't have gone through all the BS that he went through. But because he was playing Negro, black, colored games, and UDOTS already knows that he's not Negro, black, colored because he's Egyptian, he has a nationality, they put him in the coffin and hammered the lid down with him alive in there. Because you want to play Negro games. So don't let them play Negro games with you. With this subject matter. There is no Negro, black, colored people. Everybody on the planet that's civilized has a nationality. Now, back to this thing. According to Savigny, nationality is also used as opposed to territoriality for the purpose of distinguishing the case of a nation having no national territory. Example, the Jews. They have no national territory. So if they have no national territory, it makes a lot of sense now why they're still in Palestine. It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Doesn't it make a lot of sense why the Zionists are stealing Palestine? And then all of a sudden, these two warring factions could have ceasefire because they let go some hostages. Just like that. Just like that, no more bomb dropping. Everybody's cool now. Just like that, everybody's cool. War's over. War's over. And nobody's gonna question anything. Everybody's just gonna pretend like there was a war going on and all that. Babies dying, mothers dying. Oh my God, what is going on? You see, they created stuff to so they can steal your reparations, black guys. Big dummies. Big dummies. Fell for the okie doke. Fell for the okie doke. And why you fall for the okie doke? Because they don't have a nationality. Because they don't have a nationality, everybody treats them the worst. Everybody treats them the worst. Because they have no nationality. And when it comes to the Moors, they're playing games when it comes to the Moors. Next question. And I will that answered, but like I said, just go to Canaanland Moors, look up naturalization, Canaanland Moors naturalization. Videos are gonna pop up from 10 years ago that we did on this subject matter. Extensive. Can temples create a member's guide that state no member can speak with any non-members about any temple affairs, topics, or events, stating that if the member violates this rule, their membership will be terminated? Is that the temple guidelines left by the prophet? Well, one thing we have to always remember when it comes to temples, this is one thing that you have to remember when it comes to temples, and it's a great lesson. It's a great lesson in being able to weed out what's good and what's bad and all that stuff. All right. It's a good lesson. Now listen carefully. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is in power to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the prophet and the grand body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So temples can create a member's guide that states no member can speak with any non-members about any temple affairs, topics, or events. Now, why a member won't speak to a non-member really doesn't make sense, because the objective of the member's position is to go get the non-members to become members. And how else is the non-members going to know about what's going on in the temple unless they talk to the members? But again, Divine Constitution and Bylaws states, Act 1, the Grand Sheikh and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is in power to make law and enforce law. So that temple, whoever they are, made their law. And their law is that members can't talk to non-members about any temple affairs, topics, or events. So either this temple is not about gaining membership, because if the members can't tell anybody about what's going on in the temple, then why do they even have a temple? And again, if the member violates this rule, their membership will be terminated. Remember, their membership will be terminated. Membership in that temple. But don't think them terminating your membership, and because they terminated your membership and took away your nationality card from the temple means that they took away your nationality. That's not what that means. They can't do that. Temple doesn't give nationality. Nationality is yours. Temple doesn't own nationality. Temple doesn't own Noble Drew Ali. Temple doesn't own Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple. Moorish Science Temple, Moorish Science Temple doesn't own that. Doesn't own handshakes and Moroccan flags. Temple doesn't own that. So don't think that because the temple said, we're taking away your nationality card because you spoke to a non-member of the temple about whatever it is happening in the temple that you were there for, or whatever. We had a food drive. We did a food drive. And you can't talk about the food drive to people outside of the temple because that's private information or whatever like that. They can't take away your nationality. They can take away your membership. If that's the law of the temple, then hey, that's the law of the temple. But if they do that, right? Because remember, the temple's job is for the members to go out there and spread this word to those who don't know. What they do with it after that is up to them. But the temple members' duty is not, to keep this thing secret and don't tell anybody about the Moorish movement. Right? That's definitely not what this is about. And so again, if that's where they're going with it, watch these people. Because what is the sense? What is the purpose to have a temple if the members can't talk about what's going on in the temple? And what is so secret? If Drew Ali took away all the secrets, what's so secret? Right? And again, yes, it's you know, they take what Noble Drew Ali brought, right? Some of these Moors, some of these heads, they take what Noble Drew Ali brought and they use it to fit their mold of what they're trying to do. Right? They use to fit their mold of what they're trying to do. Right? So when you see the temple has a square mold and they're trying to put a triangle in the square mold, that should let you know something's going on here. It should wake you up to the fact that something is definitely wrong here. Either these people are incompetent or they're traitors. Because why are they trying to put a triangle peg in a square hole? The square peg goes in the square hole. Right? Let's also put this out there, just for more clarity with regard to this Moorish leaders and people who are teaching and all this stuff. This is from the Moorish literature. Think this over, you Moors. All sheiks, grand sheiks, must prepare for the Prophet before he comes to visit them, must see to it that all is clean and in perfection as far as comfort is possible, or otherwise don't arrange to have his presence. All members should pay from 25 cents to 50 cents weekly towards the emergency fund. Oh, you know what? Let's just do this. Let's just do this. Let's just do this. Because it'll hit different. It'll be a little bit different if we're if we're able to have the man looking at you as we're reading his stuff. It's a little different. All sheiks, grand sheiks, must prepare for the Prophet before he comes to visit them, must see to it that all is in clean and in perfection as far as comfort is possible, or otherwise don't arrange to have his presence. All members should pay from 25 cents to 50 cents weekly toward the emergency fund. This fund will increase so that it will soon amount to the grand sum of $1,000. That is if you are loyal Moors. The emergency fund goes into the bank. The treasurer will tend to the responsibility of seeing that the money is in the bank. Yes, and under the name of Moorish Science Temple of America Finance. When needed, act accordingly to the law pertaining to the procedure for performing an emergency act. No head of any said temple is to borrow from any member more than $5 to $10 unless by notification of the Prophet, the necessity for the loan. When any said temple desires to purchase property, they must first notify the grand body of the Prophet, and it must be purchased under the name of the Moorish Science Temple of America or Noble Drew Ali. An individual name should never be applied. I, Noble Drew Ali, am responsible for all finance, so therefore let I, the Prophet, know what is on me. Some of you has slipped, and slipped drastically. So you had better lace up your shoes before I get there. Everything, every business transaction, or anything pertaining to finance is to be transacted in the name of the Moorish Science Temple of America or Noble Drew Ali. We Moors must maintain a grand treasurer, just as in the days of our forefathers. When you are a nation, then you are a nation. Until then, you are nothing. The emergency fund, and then we Moors must maintain a grand treasurer, just as in the days of our forefathers. For those Moors who telling you about, well, Allah said that you don't have to honor your forefathers because the QURAN said that we don't have to honor our forefathers. We just honor the Prophet and Allah. Well, Noble Drew Ali says that if your forefathers had a grand treasurer, then you should have a grand treasurer. Because until you do that, you're nothing. And then when you look around at the Moorish movement, paradigm, etc., what do you see? Nothing. No businesses, unless they're individual stuff that are more started 5, 10, 15 yesterday ago. No grand treasury, unless what more started 5, 10, 15 yesterday ago. All the millions of dollars that was in the treasury during Noble Drew Ali's time, all gone. These people raped all the finance that was in your Moorish movement. These people destroyed all the businesses, lost all the properties. Ain't nothing left for Moors right now. Unless it's something that a Moor started 5, 10, 15 yesterday ago. Other than that, everything's gone. Moors have nothing but pictures of Noble Drew Ali. That's all we got. And then you go out there and you go get 5 Qurans that Noble Drew Ali brought with 5 different covers. And you go through those 5 books and you see all different words in there, stuff changed and all that stuff. You get Divine Constitution and Bylaws, and then you read through that and then you see some stuff saying different stuff and all that. So these people effed off with your stuff. We're not mad. We just know what they did. It ain't no big deal. We already know what it is. The emergency fund is issued by no book, but by an emergency card punched according to the contribution, then marked on the book. That is the law, and the law must live. The government is behind me, and I must get behind you, for I must uphold and enforce the law. My mission is to save you Moors. The heads of all temples, grand sheikhs and grand sheikhs, must conform to divine principles, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. They must live the life among the members and be loved even as the Prophet is loved. They must not practice the principle of segregation among any group in his or her temple. Right, so going back to the question, members, non-members, can't tell them, isn't that practicing the principle of segregation? That's practicing the principles of segregation, right? So then if they're practicing the principles of segregation and Noble Drew Ali told these Moors not to practice, then they're violating that principle, right? And if they're violating that principle, well, let's hear what Noble Drew Ali has to say. Let it be he or she that is head of any temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America, that if there should come any grievance that cannot be settled by the head, notify the Prophet at once. No member is to attend adept chamber that has not lived a moral and clean life and has not paid his or her dues or assessments, providing that he or she is working or able, cannot consider himself a Moor. But traders, must be excluded from the books after having fair trial by the head of their temple, and that must be sent into the grand body. All members that are able to subscribe toward the uplifting fund, because it takes finance to uplift the nation, and those that are able and fail to act are not Moors but traitors to their cause and trust and their nation, and are not allowed to share in all the Moorish honors. And the penalty is embezzlement of the faith of our creed. All heads of all temples must observe these laws. And then you have all those Moors telling you, Noble Ali didn't bring law. Why are you teaching Black's Law Dictionary and all that stuff? Why are you teaching people the law? Ali didn't bring that. He's a religious corporation, and he brought us our religion back and all that stuff. But then he said right there that Moors need to observe these laws. So if he's telling Moors that they have to observe these laws, and then he wrote some stuff down, when he says these laws, what do you think he's talking about? Black's Law Dictionary? You think he's talking about law maxims? Observe these laws means everything that he wrote down. That's what these laws are. These laws aren't some statutes of U.S. Some fake constitution of Canada. That's not these laws that he's talking about you need to adhere to. He's talking about the laws that he brought. Adhere to that. And you might stand a chance of making it out of this mess that we got ourselves in. You might stand a chance. Might. Big might. All right. See what else we have on deck here. How extensive was or is the Moorish Empire? I was going to say it, but I'll let, if Brother is in there, just put the book in the chat, Brother is. Just put the name of the book in the chat for everybody to know how extensive the Moorish Empire was. We already know. We already know. You've been talking about it. So I'm not even gonna take your question. I'm not gonna take your answer from you. If you're in the chat, just put the book in the chat, and then I'll read it, or I'll put it on the screen. So Moor's going to adhere to the corporation's law, but not the prophet's law, exactly. Right? Because that's how they're trained. They're trained to do that. They're trained. Right? It's a training. By them adhering to everything except what Noble Drew Ali brought is a training. That's not natural. Because Noble Drew Ali brought everything that it takes to save a nation. Everything that it takes to save a nation was brought by Noble Drew Ali. And if brothers doesn't get there, I'll put it out there for you, Moors. But I'll give them a chance. We got a couple questions here. Why are Moors looked at as stealing information from Freemasons? The different orders of Freemasons, all the different orders, branches, whatever that they have of the Freemasons, all of them, A-L-L, all of them wear fezzes. None of them are called the European names. Go again. Why are Moors looked at as stealing information from Freemasons? All the Freemasons wear fezzes. All of them wear fezzes. all of the Freemasons, their lodges are not called European names. And then you could go to khalifamedia.com and get my book, Who Stole the Fez. It's little. It's not even big. It's little. Easy read. Dumb nigger could read that. Helen Keller could read that book and get something from it. If you don't know who Helen Keller is, go look her up so you can get the point of how small this book is. So the real thieves, the real imposters, as Brother Abdullah called it in his book, Moors and Masonry, the real imposters are the Freemasons, not the Moors. And anybody who's pushing this idea that the Moors stole from the Freemasons, but everybody knows that Freemasons aren't called European names and all Freemasons have a Moorish fez, they're a troll. They're a Moorish troll and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Don't even listen to them. Don't even listen to them. As soon as they start talking, Moors, and then they start making it sound as if the Moors did something wrong. Moors did nothing wrong. Moors did absolutely nothing wrong. Right? Moors did nothing. Oh, and let me get this question or get this answer. Because I know brother always has obligations and all that stuff, so I don't want him to be pressured about anything. We know the answer. We just want to put it out there. So you can go out and go get the book called The Moorish Empire by S.P. Scott. 3-volume book. 3 volumes. They're probably about maybe half of a law dictionary. You ever see the box, The Tarot of the Moors? All of them are probably about that thick. 3 volumes. The Moorish Empire, S.P. Scott. And then if you want to add on to the extensiveness of the Moorish Empire, you could also go to your Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America and Noble Drew Ali telling you that the Moorish Empire extended from northeast Southwest Africa, across the Great Atlantis, right? So that means Atlantis was part of the Moorish Empire, across the Great Atlantis onto the present North, South, Central America and the adjoining islands. North, South, Central America and the adjoining islands. Think about that extensiveness. That's the extensiveness of the Moorish Empire. Right? Extremely extensive. And it's one of the most hidden subject matters. One of the most hidden subject matters of the Moors. Like hidden. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to deal with that subject matter. All right. Was Noble Drew Ali a Freemason? Was Noble Drew Ali a Freemason? Right, so for that one, we're going to go to The Exhuming of a Nation by Elihu Pleasant Bay. And we will ask the question that's asked in his book that somebody asked the question for Wednesday Q&A. Was Noble Drew Ali a Freemason? Remember, I'm reading from Pleasant Bay's book right now, not the question. Was Noble Drew Ali a Freemason? Oh, heavens to the no. Some more in the chat. Fuck no. He ain't no goddamn Freemason. He was not in the club membership. No, he wasn't a Freemason. Even we're talking about, none of that. We'll read Pleasant Bay's response. Oh, heavens to the no. All so-called NBC Masons are African males who lay comatose and dead in their coffin, buried in the shallow grave of the constitutional laws of corporate USA. They have been led to believe they are a cut above their fellow man, mothers, women, and children, but the coffin enslaves them all the same. No free man worth living would ever commit suicide. There has been much loose talk, accusations, Islamic speculations, Moorish science hypothesis, and outright lies, all alleging that the Holy Prophet was a Western Freemason from some made-in-America order of free, ancient, and accepted Negroes. No, Drew Ali was never a Western Freemason, never joined a Negro lodge, never wore a Masonic ring, and there is no attendance record of him ever attending any chapter of a Prince Hall Lodge Negro Masonic lodge. For those who insist on spreading this nonsense, please forward them a copy of this statement of facts built in with the intellects of the following questions. In 1902, Timothy Drew, born 1/8/1886, left the USA and went to Egypt. At age 16, was too young to join a Masonic lodge. In 1912, he graduated from the ancient Kemetan mystery system, Islamism. He was given the high name of Sharif Abdul Ali, with the most benevolent degree the greatest school on earth could bestow upon any man as a prophet, angel, and Muslim, the name of faithful, and went into the holy city of Mecca. There, being accepted by Sultan Saud, a direct descendant of Hagar, Ali made his Hajj, and with their protections and blessings, he left for the USA at the age 27, with the sacred name of El Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali. He did not join a Masonic lodge while in Africa, nor Arabia, or Morocco, or India. So when? He opened the first temple in 1913 at the Dixon Barbershop in Newark, New Jersey, after receiving its governor's full support. As a Muslim and an ordained prophet of Allah, what in the hell could a bunch of NBC Lodge brothers have to offer Noble Drew Ali? What in the hell? What in the hell could a bunch of niggers, blacks, and colored coons of the lodge have to offer Noble Drew Ali? Remember now, we are talking about a group of male ex-slaves with no free national name, no power, no land, no government, no history, no future, and neither are they free, ancient, or accepted by any other nation of the earth. To this day, they are made and owned in the US of A. Has Morocco or any nation ever come to the aid of the NBC Masons? Last question. Why would any conscious Muslim take his will from Allah and swear it to a most worshipful master? Why would any conscious Muslim take his will from Allah and swear it to a most worshipful master? The true answers to the above questions will easily render an intelligent no. Noble Drew Ali was not a Mason. Again, this is not to degrade the Moorish science lodges of any degree, but to set the record straight. The duty of a prophet and a Mason are as different as white and black, or freedom and slavery. The NBC Mason, or otherwise, were made to be property. They have never known freedom and never will know freedom. So you can take this message and you can do the math with the dates, places, and times attached, and then give Drew Ali his props. Oh yeah, I forgot. My bad. My bad, Moors. Excuse. Pardon self, Moors. There you go. Your props. Or you can keep the confusion going to your heart by accepting slave food from bottom feeders and the pretended wise. Be advised, do not let any more slip you a head of more Mickey so that they can get you drunk enough to accept their teachings. None of us can afford to hate no one more. The cost is too high, especially now that Rome has fallen. If any Moorish American claim to be the sole authority of determining who is a real Chinese or a fake Chinese, a real Moorish American from a fake, and you know he or she is not the prophet, and they ain't been no further than a slave master's prison and brought nothing back but reason to hate another more, you become all you that you accept. These same second-hand leaders also claim to have the power to give you a nationality. Run from them. They too are crazy. Meanwhile, for those of you who know yourself and Allah, read this. The time you waste trying to prove Drew Ali was a Mason or disproving he is Allah's last prophet is the time you should have used to free yourself and us as a pure and clean nation. By now, the Moorish Americans would have joined the families of nations and recognized by them all. Bottom line is, where would we be had it not been for Noble Drew Ali? The short version of this prophets are not Western Freemasons is, now, what in the world does a Negro of any position own that Noble Drew Ali could have possibly wanted or used? Look briefly at his historical facts, which will refute such bogus claims. When he left the States at the age of 16, he was too young to be a Nason. B. When he returned at age 27, he was an Egyptian adept master from Egypt, highest order, plus a Muslim who had just completed his Hajj in Mecca, thus too wise to become a Western Freemason. Can you see the lies now? Albeit, I have proven the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali was not a member to Western Freemasonry. All others are welcome to present their proof to the contrary. Otherwise, allow this degrading myth to die in the infinite duration from which it came. It's that easy. It's that simple. It's that easy and that simple. It's a beautiful thing to know. It's a beautiful thing to know. Because they can't take it away once you know. Once you know, they cannot take it away. They can try. And trust, they will try. Trust, they will try. But don't let them do it. Right? This is how serious it is.
All right, this is for all those who saying that the European don't ever get no assistance. The European this, the European that. All right, listen to this European. Let's see what he got to say.
Peace and fraternal greetings. I am Brett Trismegistus, also known as Brett Godson. Some of you may know me as B-God. I am a 32nd degree and Holy Royal Arch Mason, a tried and true student and scholar of the ancient mysteries and ancient Freemasonry, which are one and the same. Some of you may know this as Moorish science. I come to you at this.
Wait, did he just say Moorish science? No. Let's back up.
Some of you may know this as Moorish science.
Oh, wow.
I come to you at this time.
Never heard of that
with a
before.
very important message. Through my diligent studies of the world religions and secret societies, there is no better teaching for the Asiatics in America than the divine wisdom of the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali in the Moorish Science Temple of America. I bear witness.
Hold on. Didn't the prophet say that this was going to happen? Didn't he say watch the news?
The teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali being the sure foundation stone for the redemption and salvation of Asiatics in America who have been misnomered Negro, Black, African American, colored, etc. These labels were created by slave owners and given to their slaves in 1779. Many today, in 2016, still identify with these labels. Words are very important and very powerful, and they have a very strong effect on the human conscious and subconscious mind. These labels were forced upon the Asiatics as a means to dehumanize them. and to take away or weaken their identity, their power, their culture, their heritage, and much more. It is very important that you stop identifying with these labels and that you proclaim your nationality and divine creed in the Moorish Science Temple of America. Look into and discover the gifts that the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali prepared for you long ago. I leave you on the 5 points of Moorish science: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
The work that Fawcett had done. And the same way with E.U. Esanuto, his book on black nationalism. So in the 80s, I was doing some of the first new research on the Moors in decades. Since then, a lot more has been done by a lot of people. And with the advent of the internet, research has exploded. The last paper that I published in the Phylaxis, I believe it was in 2013. I spent time at the Bridwell Library, which is an outstanding research facility at Perkins School of Theology at SMU. I've never attended school there, but I have used their libraries a number of times over the years, and their SMU libraries are tremendous. But it appears the Moorish Science Temple was the first Islamic movement directed specifically to African Americans. And in Arthur Huff Fawcett's 1944 study, he said the black Muslims are directly descended from the Moorish Science Temple. Elijah Muhammad, Muslim leader, stresses economic and cultural independence of blacks. Malcolm X became Elijah's disciples while serving a jail sentence. The tenuous thread woven by Noble Drew Ali and long ago tiny missions in Detroit, Chicago, and Newark has penetrated the labyrinthine political maze. And on a couple of occasions, I had the pleasure of meeting and hear speak the late Dr. James Cone, pioneer in black theology, taught at Union Theological Seminary. In his book, Martin Malcolm in America, A Dream or a Nightmare, he says that although the Moorish Science Temple is still in existence, it was important mainly as a forerunner to the Nation of Islam. And so this movement is important. It still exists. Not as many people know about it, but it was started by this very interesting man, Timothy Drew. On the 8th of January of 1886, he was born in North Carolina, possibly near Winston-Salem. And possibly near Winston-Salem. He was born in North Carolina, possibly near Winston-Salem.
You can't make this shit up. So one of the other questions Now look what's going on. This is what one question. Why is there no city of North Carolina where Noble Drew Ali was born? There you go, right there. Let the Mason tell you. Possibly near Winston-Salem. And then Salem is Salam. So, you know, you can't make this stuff up. And you ain't heard anybody else tell you anything other than that. You find me somebody else who told you where Noble Drew Ali is born other than North Carolina. Here comes some Mason, pale European Mason, modern European, giving you a city now that you can go check whatever records, archives, or whatever like that if you care, and see what you find there. All right. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Noble Drew Ali is the man for real. Like, it's not even a joke. He really is the man. On point. Like, super on point. Like, super on point. Honors to Noble Drew Ali. Honors. So, in your opinion, do you think Moors should join the lodge? No, Moors shouldn't join the lodge. But if you are going to join a lodge, I would say, you know, join the Moorish Rite Lodge, and that's Lodge for Moors. You talk to Dr. Alim Elbey, and then he can put you on. If you really want to join the lodge, but you think the lodge got something for you, at least let it be a Moorish one. Don't be going and joining some European whatever. Don't be go join some Prince Hall, whatever. At least go Moorish. At least go Moorish. If you are. If. Big if. Right. If you are just coming into this information for the first time, knowing what you know, what would be 3 things you would remind yourself of? The first thing, remind myself of, beat myself in the head with this, that everybody after Noble Drew Ali should be giving honors to Noble Drew Ali. Supreme honors, extensive honors, because they wouldn't be who they are without him. And if they're not giving Noble Drew Ali honors, don't even pay these people any mind. Don't even give them any attention. Don't even support them, buy their books, watch their lectures, go to their lectures, nothing like that. FOH to these people who are not giving Noble Drew Ali his honors. The second thing that I would remind myself of is that not every Moor is your brother or sister. Some of these Moors are going to put you right back into slavery. And how they put you back into slavery is by keeping you confused, keeping you going to their classes, paying your $500, $5,000, $7,000 to buy some BS that absolutely has nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. They're just out here as an opportunist, as a charlatan. So trust no one. Fact check everything that everybody presents to you. And if they do present you with some type of price tag for the knowledge that they have, and that price tag is not reasonable to your reasoning mind, if somebody says 5,000, they're a charlatan. Somebody says 2,000, they're a charlatan. If somebody says 800, they're a charlatan. Especially when you got a library right over there, you can go pull up this stuff for yourself for free, or for $2, which is a library card or whatever the case is, $5 tops. Right? And the third thing, remind yourself of, is that this is your sojourn. This is your journey. The only footsteps in the sand you should be following is Noble Drew Ali's. The only footsteps in the sand you should be following is Noble Drew Ali's. And then when you get to the end of the trip and there's no more footsteps, then you go start walking within. Turn within and walk there, and now follow your own footsteps, because this is yours. And those are the three things I would remind myself of. If I were to go back and have to do this thing again, save me a lot of heartache, chasing after people, listening to people, going and doing research, some BS that they said or whatever like that, that went nowhere. Just because I thought they were my brother and sister. I thought they were my brother, so I'm going to take their advice. Mess myself up listening to some of these Moors. But I'm sure if you go to all these other Moors and ask them, hey, there's three things that you would highly consider being new into this information. And they'll give you three things different than those three things. It's not, the all and be all of three things. You go ask some other Moors and they'll tell you some three things. And again, use your reasoning mind, use discernment. But I said, one of the first things that I would do, I wouldn't listen to Taj Tariq Bey, because if I listen to, as soon as they go there or whatever like that, these people are a sellout. They're a sellout. Especially if you already listen to Taj and you already know that, 5 minutes of him and you're in. You're not even questioning anything. That stuff hit your heart chakra when he talks. You wake up immediately. Right. So will your questions were answered? If not, you already know the email. Send it for some more elaboration. Where can I acquire a nationality card? Well, where you're supposed to go to get your nationality card is the Moorish Science Temple of America. So go there first, see what's good. And then if that doesn't work, if that doesn't work, right, don't be discouraged. And if that works, if you go to a temple and everything's right and feels good and you're vibrating and everything's so amazing and you love being in this place every whatever day that you go there for their meetings, if you love it and it's amazing, there you go. You found the spot. Right? The alternative is that you go through the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs, and you're going to connect with them through rvbaypublications.com. rvbaypublications.com does not sell nationality cards. rvbaypublications.com is a publishing company. They don't sell nationality cards. Through rvbaypublications.com, they're going to connect you to the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs, who will produce your nationality and identification card for you. So you go to rvbaypublications.com and just go to the nationality card section. And remember that you getting this card, when that card is in your possession, now it's on you. So you better know what you're doing. You better know what you're thinking when you have that piece of identification. Because if you don't, ain't nobody you're gonna call. There ain't no Ghostbusters you're gonna call to help you and all that stuff. Right? Remember, this is your sojourn. This is your travel. This is your travel. And you have to want to take the steps necessary. You have to want to do it. Right? I had a warrant issued to me when I sent a special appearance. Does sending paperwork actually work to stop these colonial courts? Does sending paperwork actually work to stop the colonial courts? Look at it from this perspective. If you send in paperwork saying writ of special appearance or affidavit of special appearance, appearance means to be present. Appearance means to be present. So anytime with these colonials, when you have a court date and you don't go, they're going to issue a bench warrant. But I sent in the paperwork and the paperwork's supposed to talk for me. Paper can talk. So you find me some paper that talks out here. I got 500 for you. You find me some talking papers and we'll find the more with the Cash App or PayPal you 500. You find me talking papers. You find me the court session that the judge said, Mr. Bay, is Mr. Bay here? And then the paperwork jumped up. Your Honor, Mr. Bay is not here. I'm here for Mr. Bay. I'm the paper that preceded him for the trial today. And I just want to let you know that he's making a special appearance and I'm it. You find me some talking papers and we'll and we'll talk. And you'll have your 500. Right? Remember, these colonials have assumed jurisdiction. These colonials have assumed personam, subject matter, and territorial jurisdiction. It is in your best interest to not let them assume by being present in your proper person and standing on your square with these colonials. Standing on your square with these colonials. Because whatever you did to get into the BS that you're in there for, whatever you did, obviously you were in error. Because how come all these other Moors, they don't got court? They're out there. They're out there. Right? Yeah, they're taking special to a whole different level. Taking special at some next level. Right? Forget not going. Right? If you're not going, that's because you're scared. Because you're terrified of these people. And if you're terrified of them, you shouldn't have been doing what you're doing out there in the first place that got you in the stuff. Right? I only had to learn one time. Oh, these people are practicing color of law up in here. I ain't coming back in here. I'm not going in there for. I don't have to prove anything to them people. Nothing to prove to these colonists. Don't have a damn thing to prove to them. They already know what's up. It's my people that I need to prove this stuff to. And I'm not even, overextending myself to prove it to them. Right? So that's the issue with special appearance. That appearance means to be present. Appearance. So if you're making a special appearance, you probably should be there to break down this paperwork that preceded you. So they could say, oh, we actually have a Moor here. Oh, you're not a nigger fronting. Case dismissed. 90% of Moors, stuff gets dismissed. Well, how come it can't be proven that it got dismissed? Because it got dismissed. Because they don't want that stuff to be able to be proven. They already know Moor's a big mouth or whatever. This Moor's going to get this transcript and all that stuff and then be running around the place showing everybody. See, we told you that. Europeans don't want that. Now, there are some jurisdictions where, you send paperwork. For example, one of the Moors out here had court. Paperwork preceded him. Court called him on the day of court. Hey, are you coming to court today? Pardon? Are you coming to court today? You have court today. Are you going to be here? Probably not. I'm sleeping. Okay, no problem. We're just going to let you know that we're dismissing it anyways. Yeah. So yes, there are times where sending paperwork before and not going, it might yield a positive result. Like the Moor said in the chat, whatever the outcome is that you want, get your favorite tea, write that stuff down on the paper, right? Fold that paper up, put that stuff in your tea, and then watch the outcome happen. Because we're scientists, right? Or take whatever you want, write that stuff down, right? Fold it up, put it in your shoe, and go to court. Write the outcome that you want. If this is some, you've been there 3, 4, 5 times, they keep telling you coming back or whatever like that, get that judge's name. Write it on the paper. Fold it up. Burn it over a black candle. Right, take that judge, that prosecutor talking crazy. Write that prosecutor's name down on the paper. Fold it up. Put it in the toilet. Yeah, let your mate do her period. Let her do her menstrual on the paper in the toilet and flush it. Then watch stuff get dismissed. Because we're scientists. We're not Negro, black, colored, dumb nigger. Watch stuff get dismissed. Right? It's not a game. It's real serious. It's serious. More science is really a science. Like it really is a science. Like it really is a science. Don't take it for a joke. You know, so you see some people take it for jokes. Don't take it for a joke. Last question. Was watching Dr. G last video. She had a brother on speaking on rebuilding the bridge between America and the Caribbean. Do you have any info relative to this topic? So I saw the thing too, scrolled through it, and then I think can't remember what it's called again. Whatever his YouTube page is called. So I went there, sent a, because I heard him with his Haile Selassie, and he has the, the stance in the Trinity, like Haile Selassie and all that stuff. So I sent him a message to go get the book, Nationality, Message to the Rastafarians and all that stuff, khalifamedia.com, right? Told him go get the book, and we'll see if he gets the book. Now, relative to this topic, we'll do one better, but we'll yield the floor now. But we'll do one better. We'll yield the floor now. Don't forget, rvbaypublications.com, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. RVBay go-to class at gmail.com. So you can get the link for the paid class where you could build or be on the build with Mother Raz. Brother Minka is going to be on there. Sometimes Ms. jumps in. Sometimes Mother Johanna jumps in. Other Moors are always in there. Just like here, we'll be in the chat, just taking in the lesson. Study, study, study. Give thanks to all the Moors in the chat. Give thanks to all the Moors worldwide that love their prophet, Noble Drew Ali, 10 toes down. Honors to all the modern Europeans putting out truth, standing on truth, acknowledging the legitimacy of the Moors, and giving honors for them being here in the Americas, because this is the North Gate, where everybody could live in peace and happiness under Moorish rule. Honors to all the mothers out there teaching the Moorish babies. Thank you for being responsible, not being dumb nigger. And honors to our prophet. Honors to our prophet, the mastermind, Noble Drew Ali. Again, someone was asking about the last Dr. G build. I was asking about the last Dr. G build with the Bayesian on there, talking about the Americas and the Caribbean and the connection between the Americans and the Caribbean, and they felt like they didn't get anything from it. They felt that there could have been more. So let's take a trip. Let's take a trip down memory lane for these Moors. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. The history of modern fashion. It would be a huge mistake if we ignored the contributions of those Moors who occupied Europe, especially those who were Christian in their political orientation. Damien Fonseca was a Spanish one. Ikaru Ganan, Barbados. This is a Barbados penny. And then in the description of this, they classify this black slave on Barbados penny.
Right? Barbados indigenous name, ICH, IROU, GANAIN, ICH, IROU, GANAIN. And then also too, at the date 1792, right?
Oh yeah, and also too, can't forget, this presentation was Brother Seton Rabe was in attendance, Mother Bree was in attendance, Mother Raz was in attendance, Grand Sheik Nature was in attendance, Tashreeq Bey was in attendance, Brother Miz was in attendance, I think Brother Abdullah was in attendance, Sheikh Nika was in attendance. All the master teachers who we give honors to were in attendance for this lecture. And all the that's right, and all that stuff that you're hearing in the background, that's the master teacher, Taj Tariq Bey. Just in case people aren't convinced that Kudro El knows what he's talking about, Kudro El knows what he's talking about. We didn't come into this yesterday. So honors to all the Moors who've been supporting. Peace and love, Islam.
And, you know, why are they depicting a Moor with a crown in 1792 on this island? Right. A monthly record of anthropological science, published under the direction of the Royal Anthropological Institute of Great Britain and Ireland. Negro skeletal paper in this journal by Buxton, Trevor, and Julin, 1938-47, implies that an undeformed Negroid physical type inhabited the Virgin Islands in pre-Columbian times. Pre-Columbian time, in the Virgin Islands, we were there. And if that's the case for Virgin Islands, then that's the case for all the islands. Because remember, it's all one culture, one family. And these are natives of Antigua. Antigua, there's a few different Aboriginal names, and it's between Arawak and Carib. Waladli, W-A-L-A-D-L-I. Otial Adli, O-T-I-A-L-A-D-L-I, and Waradli, W-A-R-A-D-L-I. Right, and again, when you look at the culture, if somebody doesn't say anything, you think that this is the continent. Right? Columbus didn't discover it, he invaded. Right? Chicano students. The European myth of cannibalism. You just look that up. Well, that's big news. There's articles and articles about them trying to classify these herbivores as cannibals. Right? Next. Again, Antigua, Waradli, and Oahomoni, Barbuda, O-U-A-H-O-M-O-N-I, O-U-A-H-O-M-O-N-I. And you can see you got the Liberty cap on. And that one could be turban or otherwise. Atabe. That's really how they spell it. Atabe is the supreme goddess of the Taínos. The supreme goddess. The supreme goddess of the Taínos is a babe. So they know what's up. It's only a secret to people who don't study. It's only a secret to people who don't know about their nationality and their birthright. And these are the things that, like, when, if conscious guy sees this and say, oh, you're a black lady, because, you know, she's black. But the Beto, and if she's big, clearly she's not Negro, black, colored, or whatever. And these are some of the Aboriginal culture we have to infuse into our, when we're doing our libations and stuff like that. Call out some of these ones, because they need to get acknowledged too. Because they're only being acknowledged by so-called, you know, Taínos and whatever, but, you know, that has no power. It's like black guy saying he's worshiping something. Right? They're cut off because they have no tie to their ancestral lineage. But we can do it on their behalf. You know, we can do it for them so that it can have some power. So when we start putting Atabe out there, when they say it, now it'll have power when and then stuff will actually start happening for them. Yes. Because we're the ones that are the scientists that's going to change this thing around. Right? And here's Yukahu, same one we saw earlier. And he's the counterpart of Atabe. And you know, he got his Liberty cap on, fez, whatever you want to call it. So there's the universal law of duality. Maroons. Everybody knows about the Maroons, I'm sure. There's something about these so-called runaway slaves. Right? Maroons were strong-willed. They would go almost any length to maintain their status on the island as free citizens. They would go almost any length to maintain their status on the island as free citizens. And when you do your research on the Maroons, today, 2016, they still have their own jurisdiction where Jamaican government doesn't even deal with them. Refuse to deal with them. Where they have taken the position of being extremely apologetic for causing the situation of there being quote unquote a Jamaica or Jamaicans and Maroons. Because the Maroons say that they're the ones that sold out because they did the treaty with the British. They admit that they did the treaty with the British and that their job was to go catch slaves and stuff like that for the British. Right? And again, their position is apologetic with regard to their actions that caused their own fault. And all the stuff that they're dealing with now from IMF to everything else. Maroons taking on themselves that they're the ones that did it. Because now, the so-called Jamaican government now doesn't even support them. Knowing that they're the Aboriginal indigenous people, knowing that they're the ones that's been there from the beginning of time, right? They cut them off because of that quote-unquote strong will. And why majority of people, when they speak about people outside of Jamaica, speak about Jamaicans having this, attitude, renegade, rebel, whatever like that. It's always Jamaicans in the gun movies. When they show those movies or whatever, it's always the Jamaicans that are the ones that are the gunman and the drug man and the guy who's bringing the drugs to America and all that stuff. Right? It's because of the Maroon spirit in them. Why they push that perspective. So they even know, even as the gunman or whatever, that they're Maroons. And the idea is to make sure that they stay on the gunman side and don't support what the Maroons are doing. Because right now in Jamaica, they got Maroon government, where they have ministers of everything, just like what European got. And the only thing is that they don't have any support from their countrymen, because their countrymen want to be Jamaicans. And then get mad when they can't get a visa. When they could just be Maroons and then be free and not have any issues. Right? So at that, we're gonna take a break. And any announcement? Or
We're going to take a quick 20-minute break because we got the photographer here and we just want to grab some shots before he leaves. Just so y'all know, Brother Hazrat just came in the back. We got some raw foods back there. We got some vegetarian pies back there. Well, vegetarian cheesecake. We're good to trust me, y'all gonna love it. Like I said, 20 minutes. And then we're going to get right back at it. So we can kill both cameras. And like I said, 20 minutes, we'll get back to it.
Ready.
Salam, everybody. All right, we're going to get back to work. We're going to bring the great sheet. Your alcohol back up. Right there, more information. So tune in. You'll get everybody's attention. And that's what I want to make one announcement. And these cameras pick up your voices, right? So even if you sit at a table or two tables away, anybody that needs to have a conversation that has to talk, I gotta humbly and respectfully ask you to go to the back or go outside. Too many DVDs and too many times we put videos on YouTube and people call back complaining because they hear y'all talking and they can't hear us. So even though you think you may be talking at a whisper, those cameras pick you up. So anybody that needs to have a conversation, I gotta ask you to go to the back or go outside.
From prominent reggae artist, Sprague Ben, saying that he was going to be in New Jersey or whatever. Is there any Moors? I'm hearing this stuff about Moors. I'm Jamaican and I know about the Maroons and all that. So we put him on to Grand Sheep Nature Albeit. You can go on YouTube. They got their Skype up there. They got their class up there that they did. If you go on Motor Ledge Radio, we did interviews with Red Pill and Blue Pill about all this stuff we're talking about the Maroons and all that. Most recently, this movie came out that he stars in, Green Card, independent movie, where it's about, a green card. So watching the movie or whatever, and some lawyer that this brother knows set him up with a lawyer because he was getting married or whatever like that. He's telling the lawyer, well, you know, I don't really need to get married, you know what I mean? Because I love my girl and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I love her, so I don't need to get married or whatever. And he starts telling the lawyer about, well, I'm a Moor. This is in the movie, right? I'm a Moor. And I don't think that I need to do this and that to get you guys a visa and all. I got nationality and all that stuff, right? Movie that's going around to all the Jamaicans or whatever like that. And the only reason is because he was inspired by a Moorish American. Now, if you know, this is Shatta's movie. Same thing we're talking about with the Jamaicans, the gunmen and all that stuff. Same idea. The Maroon coming to his higher senses, realizing that he's not no Jamaican, realizing that he's Moor. Remember that he's big time. Yeah. He's not a small time reggae artist that you just see out mix CDs or whatever. He tours the world. And he's familiar, very familiar with what it is, what it means to be Moor. Very familiar about Noble Juali. Very familiar about the culture. So if he can know and make sure that, because I'm sure that he's the one that got that to be a part in the movie. Right? His involvement in the movie had to be why they even let that get out. Because I seen Jamaican movies and they don't talk about no Moors and all that stuff. They don't talk about movies, nothing like that. Right? So if he being as prominent as he is to take the position to say, you know what, let me let this get out. Let me make sure that this message is being relayed to my people on that island. You know, he deserves honor. You know what I mean? So big up Praga Benz for that.
That name is a tag, and a Christian tag at that. But the reason I went into Islam, the reason I had to join my energy on this is because everybody who applies for a nationality card, you wouldn't believe some of the things that they want us to put on the card, and we refuse to do. Just because they're thinking that, you know, we're in the business, you know, of making a card personalized to what you want. No, we're not. This is an allodial family card. And we are not. I had to tell people that because they approach it their way. I just recently got that. Well, you could just give me my finance back and I'm gonna do business. I said, we're not in the business. This is a family card. You know, it's not about business. And no, we do not do personalized private cards because, and this is what brought up our conversation that we had last Tuesday. They wanted to have a tribal, or what you call Indian name, right, on that card. I mean, they actually had a dissertation back and forth. It would have been an argument, but it was in writing. All right. So for me to understand, no, this is whatever your family tribal appellation is a family tribal appellation of Moors, or what they call tribal name is really a family appellation of the family. But we're all one family. Married one free national name. So they couldn't get that. They wanted me to put this and that and all of that. I'm like, no, why? My point was, why couldn't they understand that this was the unifying of family? They were like, well, I've done my lineage in my family. And I said, your family's my family. So I wanted to say that to say that is a part of the division that we had that happened when we did some history. Like I'm glad you bringing this in and found out that, ooh, I think I'm tied to so-called Indians. Well, Prophet Noble Lee mentioned Cherokee, but did he take you to go say you were Cherokee? He said it so that this discussion that we're having wouldn't be a discussion. That we're one family. And so I wanted to say that with assigning appellations, assigning your title, or especially the title, Someone said not to use Ali. And you know how powerful that was. You just brought that to life in a way.
Yes.
L's and bays are what we are fundamentally, primarily. Wear that first. That's the principles of lawmakers, law enforcers. That's what it is. If you can't step into being the L and the Bay, you cannot go to the data Al or the Ali.